Welcome to my channel, Let's Talk. Let's do talk. Let's talk about teaching our children about not talking to strangers. Strangers are anyone except your immediate family. So if it's you and your daughter and son and your mother in the house, then strangers would be anyone outside that circle. If it's you and your daughter, it would be anyone outside you and your daughter. If it's you and your two daughters, it would be anyone outside you and your two daughters. We need to let our children know how to communicate the fact that anyone outside the immediate circle is a stranger. You can have acquaintances that are blood relatives, but they're still strangers in the fact that the things that you do together as a family does not allow others outside that circle to do the same things. As an example, if you have a young child, you don't allow anyone to escort your young child to the bathroom. You don't leave your young child alone with anyone in the bathroom. These are simple things that can safeguard your child's well-being. Most often, we do not want to look or teach children these things because we want them to get the idea of the village and being safe. But in order to have a safe and healthy village, we have to start recognizing within ourselves that there are restrictions and boundaries that we must give to our children in order for them to safeguard their well-being, and to give signals to adults that they cannot infringe on the well-being of children. So I know I said that I was going to talk more about homework groups, parental groups, so that you can start doing homeschooling. That's my thing, is to proceed on to homeschooling. But I want to establish this. So when you have situation and circumstances, when you start doing homeschooling, you have to start teaching your children the buddy system. And you have to establish and pay attention to signs that indicate behaviors that are not in the best interest of your child. Because sometimes there do exist children who are used as pawn to attract children to being preyed upon. And I really want to emphasize this. So just like how adults can be very manipulative and have you thinking one thing or doing something that causes you to end up in a situation you don't want to be in, so can children be groomed to do that. So what I'm trying to say, or taught to do that. So what I am trying to share with you today is, let's be mindful of how to safeguard and teach our children from the time they're small that trust has to be earned, and that they need to start being mindful of people who are outside their immediate circle. With that said and done, family, tell me what you think about what I'm saying to start teaching your children how to safeguard their well-being and establish boundaries. So all your children, if you have two, then you teach them to be buddies to each other. If you have three, you teach them how to be buddies and shift off buddy system, like where you have one child and that's older, they watch both children when they go to the bathroom, and it's certain things you have to teach them, and you have to start teaching them right away. If you have one, you're going to have to teach that child to be safe when they go to the bathroom, when they get old enough to lock the door. Other than that, you're going to have to take the steps to safeguard your child. You can no longer depend on the school system to keep your child safe. It is your job and your responsibility, if you really love your child, to start safeguarding them and teaching them how to establish boundaries between another child and adults, to include caretakers, to include family members. It's time out for all that other stuff. Okay, if you know someone is not safe for them to be around, I don't care if it's your father or your mother. I don't care if it's your brother or your sister. Don't have your child around that person. Okay, because that child is going to incur a lot of trauma on top of the trauma that already exists in this world. And you're going to be creating a monster. Fam, peace and blessings.